What's up, everybody? This is Zay with Masondogg Academy of Technologies, and we are here with another video. This is going to be a walkthrough, a kind of instructional video on how to swap coins or swap blockchains. This is mainly for people who are just getting started, who maybe you set up a wallet and you have some Bitcoin and now you're ready to dive into some altcoins, or you want to start trading, or you want to get into some DeFi projects. So a common question I get is, how do I swap my Bitcoin, or how do I swap my Ethereum for another coin? Like maybe you want to get some XRP or BNB, uh, Solana, Cardano, or you want to get some USDC. Whatever you want to swap from, I'm going to show you how to do it today. First, what you want to do is think about and know what type of wallet you have and what type of wallet you need in order to hold a certain type of coin. So, I'm going to briefly, real quick, break this down after we start a swap. So I'm not gonna. I'm gonna get into the wallets and different things like that. But let's go ahead and do this swap. There's a lot of different ways that you can swap, but one of the quickest and one of my favorite ways is using a site called ChangeNow.io. So you have to make sure you're on the correct site because again, security is our number one concern. So you want to start by maybe going to Google or just typing directly in your browser ChangeNow.io. Double check your spelling. Make sure that when it comes up, the site looks like this. Then we're gonna jump right into it, and then I'm gonna explain more about the site and why I use it and things like that. So how I got to this page is go to Exchange. So we're on the Exchange tab now, and here's what we're gonna do. Let me check my wallet. I have my mobile wallet up on my phone. I'm going to swap for some USDC. So I'm going to swap out a coin, but I want the USDC on Solana because when you swap for cash, you can swap to different blockchains. You have USDC on multiple chains. So I'm going from to USDC, not Bitcoin. I'm going to do some Dogecoin. I got some random Dogecoin sitting in my wallet that I want to cash out and put on Solana and potentially use it for trading. So that's the first step, is determine, okay, from what coin are you going to what? Where are you going? What do you want to swap for? So I'm going from Doge to USDC. Now it's going to ask how much. Well, I currently have about 1,300 Dogecoin. So that's going to get me about $215 in Solana on the Solana network through USDC. And I also will get some cash back, and I'll address that in a second. Now, next step is asking, where do you want the USDC to go? So I am going to paste my wallet. Now I already have it. It's probably already on there. I'm just gonna go in here, double check. So again, we're swapping Dogecoin for USDC on Solana. So what's gonna happen is, y'all see my balance. Y'all see the starting balance here. I'm sending it to this wallet. So this is this current balance, and I'm gonna copy the address, even though I think it's already there. Just copy it just in case. And nope. So let me paste it. Now y'all see how? Let me show you again what just happened. If I click this button, it's asking to pull up my camera to scan the QR code. But in this scenario, I don't have the QR code. I'm just gonna copy because I'm going from a wallet on my computer. So I just copy the wallet here, and notice, see, within Phantom Wallet, you see how you have different chains. So if I was swapping from any of these chains and I wanted to get Solana in this wallet, I could swap right here in this wallet. But instead, I want to swap from Dogecoin, and that I don't have that option, so that's why I'm using this. So Click there, it copies the address. And now watch what happens when I paste the address. Watch this right here. Notice how it gives me a check mark because it's telling me, hey, this is a valid address for this swap. So when you are swapping from any chain, you have to make sure that it's the correct wallet. Let's see what happens when I put an incorrect address. Let's use the address from here, and this is a whole different chain. This is on BNB chain. So let's copy this address and paste it and see what they say. Notice it didn't give me a check mark. Now it didn't say it's wrong. It just didn't give me the mark saying it is correct. So just pay attention to that and just be aware of that because you always want to make sure you're sending it to the right place. So now I got to go back and copy it again for the third time. All right, here we go. Let's stop messing around. Let's get this done. All right, so boom, I got the check mark. Now it's going to say start exchange. Now, what it's telling me to do is deposit the Doge that I want to send. So notice here, this is walking us through the whole process. So now I'm going to do deposit. You can't see this, but I'm scanning this QR code on my phone to send it to this Doge address. And I'm just confirming the transaction. So we're going to see, I'm going to let you guys know exactly when it starts and we're going to see how long it takes. So the transaction was sent 12:43 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I can pull up the hash showing the transaction on my phone, but I'm not going to do that because I don't want to have to try to copy or type this in. So right now, you see, it's letting you know where it's at. It's just like when you order a pizza, it's showing you, hey, your pizza's in the oven. All right. So we see that fast. The deposit just got confirmed. Well, I'm sorry, it's been received. You see, it tells you right here, your deposit has been received. It needs a little bit more time to confirm, usually 2 to 15 minutes. So every chain, every coin has its own transaction speeds. And it also depends, the speed of the transaction also depends on the traffic on the network, right? It's just like on the highway, if there's a lot of traffic, if there's a lot of transactions happening, it may take longer. Normally, you could maybe increase the gas fees to make the transaction go through faster, but we're just doing this swap. I'm just doing this for the example for this video. Now, while that's confirming, it's going to confirm, then exchange and send back. So while that's happening, let's go over why you would need to do this. So in crypto wallets, I'm not going to go too much in depth of how they work. You can watch other videos. Just type in on YouTube crypto wallets explain and keep watching videos till it makes sense. That's how you learn things. Just watch different videos and read some articles and you'll get eventually get it. But there's hot and cold wallets. So cold wallets are offline. Hot wallets are online. So which ones do you think are more susceptible for attacks? Definitely the hot wallets because they're connected to the internet. So you have to be careful. Again, security is a number one concern. Now, I'm not going to talk about cold wallets again. You can look that up, but just for the sake of this example, one of the reasons why I'm using this site to swap is because I want to go from one wallet and one chain to another one. So notice I started the transaction on my phone, right? My mobile wallet on my phone. I want the funds in my web wallet, which is the wallets right here that's attached to my browser. All right, and notice the transaction still hasn't gone through. Let's go back and check on it. All right, it's still confirming. It's only been 3 minutes so far. So again, sometimes the time for this process varies. I'm showing you guys in real time how long it's going to take. I'm not going to edit it out. I'm going to show you exactly how long because you have to be patient. And speaking of patience, one of the reasons why I use this site is because right here, like it says, it's reliable. It's been around. Let me go to the about. Okay. Yeah, they've been around since 2017. That's when I actually first got started. So I've been using this site for 7 years since it's been here, and it always works fine. If there is an issue, you see most of the time it's usually about 3 minutes, the average exchange time. But here's the thing that I like most about this site. They have support. So if anything happens, if anything goes wrong, which it has before for me only once though, I had to reach out to support. I was very pleased with the process of them helping me and able to make sure my transaction went through. It just got stalled. I had a transaction that got stalled or and didn't go through, or it kind of got frozen. And I reached out to them and they took care of it. So they definitely have my vote and my nothing is 100%. Nothing is 100% guaranteed to work all the time, but as long as they have a support team and a process, um, it's it's a lot better. Now you don't have to have an account to use this site. I have an account because you get cash back for a transaction. So each swap that you do, you might get a certain amount of cash back in the form of their token, a now token. Now, all you have to do to sign up is use your email. Now you can upgrade. So see how they want me to verify. See if I give them my information, then they'll give me more cash back. But I'd rather just stay here on this level. So I'm showing that to show you guys you don't have to have an account with this site. You don't have to sign up for anything. The only reason I have an account is just for the cash back. And again, they don't have my information. I only signed up for it with my email address. That's it. And I have a different, you have a email address specifically for crypto. It's an encrypted email address. I don't use it for anything else but stuff like this. So I still have my privacy, even though again you can be tracked doing all this stuff. Just throwing that out there, just reminding you guys. But yeah, there's other sites. So some people may say, what's so special? Why do you use this site? There is other sites and other ways that you can swap, but this is just the one that I prefer to use. And they have the majority of currencies or chains that you want is there. See, look at all these different types of tether. All these different chains where you can have Ethereum, USDT, which is another stable coin, Binance, XRP, Solana. Look at all these different USDC platforms, right? So this is why people use this so they can easily swap from one place to another. All right, let's check on this. So this is one of those instances for the video. It's so funny that this one is taking a while because I just did one before this and I was like, I'm not gonna do. Let me just swap this real quick. I'm not gonna do the video for it, and that one went through right away. But the one that I choose to make the video for is taking a minute. That's how it works. That's what happens. So anyway, I'll come back to that. Let's go back to these wallets and talk about why this site would be useful. So every chain, every layer one, when you see the term layer one, that's a coin that has its own blockchain. So every chain has different properties and different benefits and reasons why people use them. But if you want to go from one chain to another, like I said, let's say if you have Bitcoin and you want to go from Bitcoin to Cardano, or from Solana to Algorand, or from Polkadot to Avalanche, you will have to swap some of those chains in some way. Now, if you have an exchange account, maybe you have an exchange and you can just sell one and buy another, but this is for when people may not have the exchange account set up. So you would need to use something like Change Now. There are other sites and stuff that use this, but this is just like I said, the one that I prefer to use. All right, so at 1:03, the transaction was finally confirmed. and the exchange is happening, and it should be arriving in my wallet soon if it's not already there. So this time it actually went through. It took about 20, I think about 20 minutes. So again, you have to be patient with this. Sometimes it's instant, sometimes it may take 20 plus minutes, but I haven't really seen it take longer than that. So don't get nervous, don't get scared. Again, if anything happens, if anything goes wrong, just reach out to support and they will help you. They'll help you out because like I said, they've done it for me before. All right, so let's go back to my wallet and there we go. It's been updated. I had like what 170 something. There goes the transaction right here. Received at 103. So again, 20 minutes it went through. I went from Dogecoin to now USDC on the Solana network, which I will use to either trade or maybe buy some other stuff on Solana. But that's how you do a swap. So it tells you how long. Now it says the exchange took 2 minutes, which is true. It was a confirmation that took the longest amount of time because every blockchain has to have every blockchain has different amount of confirmations that it needs for the transaction to go through. So it tells me I got more than expected and it has all the details here so you can look at the transaction hash. Just show you guys what that looks like. This is just a block explorer, so it shows the transaction here. So yeah, it took 12 confirmations. So when I first did it and I was checking it when it said it went through and I was waiting for it to confirm, it was still confirming. It had a few confirmations, but it was waiting for a certain amount. So that's how you swap. Change now. Again, just go to changenow.io. Hit the swap. Say you're going from Bitcoin to Ethereum. Hit exchange. It's going to ask you, where do you want the Ethereum to go? You paste the wallet. You hit exchange. It's going to tell you to send the Bitcoin here. And then it's going to go through this process. So that's how to swap from any coin to another one. Notice I think my cashback went up, I believe, so I have to go back and check. But all right, so that's it for our video today. Again, if you're not already subscribed, subscribe to our channel. Go check out our website. Check out and join our Patreon, and we will see you on the next video. Peace.